What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Sorry, the days have been kind of wonky. The California has finally opened up the system, so I have to actually leave the house, and we're trying to figure out what day we can do this. But we're here. We're here to do it. Seal, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I just noticed it only took about 3 weeks, but I'm finally starting to get some hair back on the old face.
I'm gonna try to see if I can go without shaving mine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
right.
back to
You're
the
gonna
office.
show up and lose a sick day or get a write up or whatever happens
Yeah.
in the office job.
Well, they wouldn't do it right up. They'd be like, well, first of all, because we still can't have guests or whatever, and they'd be like, so you're lucky we don't have guests coming in, ha ha ha, and they'd try to make a joke, and I'm like, all right, I got you, and I'd go shave it, but we'll see. I can clean it up. Right now, it just looks like Mountain Manny though.
Do y'all do any Zoom meetings or anything?
Yeah.
Does anybody ever point it out? Or like,
Yeah,
you
they're
still
like,
go to the
dude,
office
nice
on
beard. No, they say it looks really good. They don't care, but when I get to the office, they'll probably
Once
care.
the people who put their investments into your wallet, they're gonna
I
be
don't
like,
meet with anybody, bro. I sit in my freaking cubicle. looking
yeah,
at
and
the
they're gonna
computer.
walk
It's
by
such
your
bullshit.
cubicle and see you and be like, he looks nothing like Mark Zuckerberg. I don't want him dealing with my money.
I know,
Like,
right? I don't look
he
like
just
I know
cuts
what
checks.
to do with people's
What?
money.
He cuts checks.
Yeah, I move
Every
money
big
around.
time.
People get confused by me. But yeah, so the world is back to normal. Not really, but the sports world is not quite back to normal. And the one thing, though, that I will say, it's time to make a no scrubs proclamation and guarantee if you guys are bettors, I don't know what the odds are, but if there's a choice for out of the league, that's the one I'm betting for Deshaun Watson to go to next year. So
Wow.
I don't think that's a Vegas odd. There might be a Vegas odd for out of the league, but that's where I'm putting all my money. That is a rough story, bro. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I did. And I think when the first came out, I tweeted, I was like, man, did you see this? And it was at 4 women. And
Yes.
now allegedly it
16
could be
right
up and more being vetted still,
Yeah.
which is crazy. And it stinks, man, because when we just talked about it a couple weeks ago, I alluded to the JJ Watt going up to him and feeling really bad that he wasted one of his years. And you think somebody like JJ Watt, we know JJ Watt's a great human being, gives back. It's just an awesome dude. And he knows his quarterback. So
Right.
you feel like Deshaun, just by knowing him and how JJ felt about him, that he was a good dude as well. And it kind of seems like a letdown. And it stinks for us. I'm being a little greedy here. It stinks that we're probably not going to see that talent ever again.
Yeah.
We felt back in the day that maybe Ray Rice was going to be able to come through a couple years later. Never happened, never came into fruition. And nowadays we have kids trying to cancel Eminem. So
Right.
he's definitely probably never going to see a field again. But hopefully he can learn from everything. And he came out and saying that he responded to or in some sort of way that he was never trying to be aggressive towards any of these
Right.
women in any type of way. But if it's up to 16, it's a habit. And at that point, it needs to get fixed. So hopefully he'll get some help with that. But man, that is a big hit just for football, because we're both in agreement that he wasn't going to be back in Houston.
Right.
Just for the game of football. It's really stinks.
I bet Houston, just from strictly numbers, is probably really pissed that they didn't trade him back when he asked to be traded.
Yeah.
Because now they're basically holding an asset that's more of a liability. But to not joke too, I was joking about it, obviously, but I think he just fell into that. Everybody has problems. Not everybody's is dealing with women in bad ways, but everybody has those problems. And when you're huge celebrities, it slides a lot more often than it should. And it seems like if these allegations are true, it looks like people just kept letting it slide, because it wasn't a secret. Somebody knew. People always know something, and those big celebrity types. So hopefully he can take the path of Ray Rice, who at least tried to come back, take the path of Adrian Peterson, who I think is probably the best case scenario for coming back after he beat a kid, right, with a stick. So
this kid.
So that's the best example of turning over a new leaf and saying, listen, I was wrong. I'm coming back. I'm going to work harder than I ever worked. And Adrian Peterson, I think, is still working. So
that's why I'm glad I'm not famous or doing anything important, because when I looked underneath my kid's mattress last summer, and saw the amount of sucker lollipop and all kinds of candy trash underneath that mattress, the I probably wouldn't be able to play in the league. I mean, I didn't use anything but the
Which
old
is
hand. Nope. All you're allowed to use is the hand now, and but you got
really,
about that much space nowadays. Yeah.
it's crazy, bro. I don't even know because obviously everybody says it. We all grew up getting beat as kids. I don't know how
Ooh.
this got to kids getting beat, but Adrian Peterson.
I'm
But
gonna die of a brain aneurysm from
but
dad
yeah,
knocking me out in the
we all
backyard.
got hit, but living in California for sure, like hitting is not okay at all. And I'm not even all for it. I hope that my kid is smart enough to be able to be talked to.
Yeah.
But I know myself. I know you as a kid. Sometimes you got to get hit to get it
Yeah.
straight. So we'll see. But hit is probably the wrong word. But sometimes you need
I
real
needed
punishment.
it. So
Yeah,
what
you
I
did.
like to compare to is the person I've turned into. And sorry, Bubba, I love you, bro, but my 6 years elder brother, I'm not going to name him, but but we had completely different paths, and the only difference was I was living with dad getting my ass beat, and he was living with mom and Bob all doing whatever he felt like doing.
True. Yeah, well, every person is different. Our buddy Josh Neenan, shout out to Josh. I don't think he ever got beat a day in his life, and he grew up to be a normal, good person too. So
Could you
everybody's different.
imagine his parents like having to rock paper scissors to see who was going to do it in one of their weird goofy
It would
ways?
hurt
Because
them
they're
worse than it
awesome.
hurt
Oh
him for
yeah.
sure, bro.
Oh yeah.
But so every person's different. Every kid's different. But anyways, this is completely off topic. So we hope that Deshaun Watson.
The new viewers are like, didn't I do sports feed?
Right. We hope that Deshaun Watson is either innocent and something gets fixed, or if he really has this problem, that he figures it out and gets it fixed. And whether he's in the league or not, that's just for our selfishness. But we hope that he comes out of this positive.
And luckily for him, it's not a battery or assault or anything like that, like physical.
Yeah.
So maybe he can come back from this. There's not too many deep wounds. Hopefully, we don't find out. It is just coming on a little too strong when you probably shouldn't have repeated times with maybe trainers or.
Well, that first story I heard when it was like he was getting a massage and she like left the room and came back and he's laying naked on the table. I'm like, that's nothing. Like when that was the first one I heard, I was like, oh, this is fine. He's just a creepo. But now it's just more and more shit's coming out and you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah. But yeah, two sports. There's a lot of sports going on right now and a lot of upsets. I thought about breaking out the old Gator. I got my hat right here still from throwing it when I got home the other night.
I'm going gray. Nobody. No allegiances. No colors.
No, just the
Final Four and gray. No, nothing.
I'm wearing Cavs because, I mean, we suck, but at least we didn't just celebrate our not losing a 21st game.
You guys are hoping to draft one of these kids with your third pick or whatever it is you guys will have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And if it's not like Lou Garza, I don't want Washington Jr. I'll take that 6'8" kid from
Washington
Oklahoma State.
We can talk about him for a second. He missed every shot.
And a lot of people were saying he threw that game and got a lot of death threats. But I was saying
it looked like he was just
I've always thought he kind of in the face looked like J. Cole. And since that hair's just been getting longer and longer and longer, I never said anything. But that game, I just kept texting my dude, Cold World.
Yeah, dude. He was bricking everything. Well, there are two G League kids that obviously we don't get to see right now, but they're supposed to be in the top 5 in the draft too. But for the people that are supposed to be top picks, there's not really many of them left. Kofi, what's his last name? Kofi Covington or Coburn. Kofi Coburn, I think is his name, for Illinois. He's a monster. He got shut down by the Loyola Chicago. We can start there. By the Loyola Chicago big man who they don't even know if he's going to get drafted, Cameron Krutwig, which is crazy.
He's so ugly, dude.
He's a goofy looking dude. He looks like a caveman, but he schooled the lottery pick.
The Goonies.
Yeah, he looks like the Goonies guy, kind of. But he schooled that lottery pick. So that's one of the guys out. Cade Cunningham is out. Oregon State, and we'll break it down, like I said, but we're just talking real quick. Oregon State made Cade Cunningham look like us out there trying to play basketball. And he actually laid 2 stinkers. He stunk against Liberty, and they somehow won. And then he stunk against Oregon State, and they got blown out. And the only other one that I know of Oh no, there's another one that didn't make it. Oh, what's his name? Out of the first round. Dang, I forgot. Oh, the Yukon guy, Book Nace or Book something. I was excited to watch these guys because I didn't get to watch a lot of NCAA basketball, and all of these dudes just out in the first round or second round, and now I'm pissed. So now the only guy we get to watch is Mobley from USC. That it looks really good. There's a dude on Baylor that's really good, and then there's about 15 people on Gonzaga that we got to watch for because they're all going to get drafted. They have 4 All-Americans, and they're all going to get drafted. So we still have a few good people to watch, but let's jump into the games. There have been a lot of upsets, and we'll go kind of round by round and talk about it. Of course, we predicted just the first round, and we predicted completely wrong, but the first 2 rounds have made it. And up there in the Western bracket, the final 4 of that bracket is Gonzaga, Creighton, USC, and Oregon. So a 1, 5, 6, and 7. Looking back on the first 2 rounds still for the West, what game really jumped out to you? Maybe as a surprise, maybe as just something you were like, damn, like I did not expect this.
Ohio just beating Virginia the way they did, and then coming out and Creighton beating the shit out of them the way they did.
Ohio was flat as fuck.
I was looking forward to that game just because of how both of them just seemed to be on their toes, ready to roll, and looking forward to a win. And that was really good to see, but not really good in that second game, which really has me thinking, does Creighton have a shot against the Gonzaga? We're saying
if they
no.
can hit those shots, boy.
But the way this freaking tournament has been going, anything is possible. Anything is possible. They need to find a way to get some stellar mascot out there to be talked about pregame, and they really will have a chance.
Absolutely. Yeah. If they're hitting shots, it's funny because your pick was Creighton was picked to be upset by UCSB in like the first round.
Yeah.
And then my pick also was a trendy pick.
It almost happened though.
USC, that it did almost happen. USC, we didn't even know who they were going to be facing because it was one of those play-in games with Drake and Wichita State. And even then we said USC could potentially lose when we thought it was Wichita State that was going to win. Yeah. But Drake ended up beating Wichita State. And then USC said, who? Drake? Get out of here. They beat them by like 20 something points. And we were like, okay,
no shopping.
That's pretty good. But that was an 11 seed. Now you got to go face number 3 seed Kansas. You're not going to beat them by 20 points. And USC said, no, we're not going to beat them by 20 points. How's 34 points sound? They were up by like 42 at one point, and it just made Kansas, their bitch, look so good. They're going up against Oregon next game, and they beat Oregon by like 28 earlier in the season, the one time that they played them. USC could be the upset pick that's still going. And,
they really could.
I'm excited for that.
And again, the team that Oregon is shut down Lou Garza. Just shut him down. I mean, not really shut him down, but really didn't make him effective.
He scored, but
the last 15 minutes of the game, he finally showed up and scored. But he was getting showed out, and man, I feel bad for him. You could see the emotion on him after that game. And I wouldn't mind picking him up, but not if
National
really
Player of the Year. He'll be happy in a month.
Yeah, if we're going to be that high up, I don't see him really needing to go to us. We do need to go big, like a power forward. That's why I really wouldn't mind Cade from Oklahoma State. Yeah, he didn't really do too hot, but he's 6'8" and would go really good if it was Colin, Garland, or Garland, Colin, then Okoro, then him, and then whichever JaVale, Jarrett.
JaVale might get traded. We're not talking NBA.
Dude, everybody's going to be getting. Every day, it's just somebody else gets put on the trade block.
Somebody made an offer, I think.
It's ridiculous.
I forgot who it
ridiculous.
Was.
I'm down for JaVale to go. If we get rid of Jarrett, I'd be pissed. Tayshaun Prince is finally on the trade block, which is great because he hasn't seen the light of day on the court, and he's the reason my boy Kevin Porter's not on the team. So fuck him.
Sure.
Get him out. But yeah, back to this. But yeah, so I do see USC when they beat Oregon, but I don't know, that team's firing on all cylinders, and in the tournament you find it or you don't, and it seems like Oregon's found it, and they're probably not the same team that USC played, and USC probably has a big head right now. They're way farther than I mean, it's 2 games in, and they beat the shit out of the team that was supposed to beat the shit out of them.
So what do you think? This is the only bracket the only side of the bracket so far that we've seen a game had to get canceled. Oregon and VCU got canceled because VCU came up with just too many positive tests or whatever. Do you think that rest helped Oregon come out against number 2 and really shut them down? Because Iowa had no game film to go off of. Oregon wasn't tired. Like, did that actually help them?
And yeah, for sure. The thing that I was talking about last podcast was practice. If you don't think that they went and hit that floor when they should have been playing and stayed on that thing the whole 3.5 hours when they would usually probably be allotted an hour time slot because of everybody else, that definitely helped out for sure. And right after that, we don't have to play tomorrow. We don't have to play again for 2 more days. Yeah. So we can get out of here and go and hit the hotel and just study for the next 2 hours and go to sleep at 11 instead of 9. Right. Oh yeah, that definitely helped that team out for sure.
And the way they play, they're so fast. They play really fast-paced offense. So to not be tired from game 2 days ago is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Yeah. I think USC is going to get it done, but whoever wins is going to lose to Gonzaga.
You think so? So you still have Gonzaga coming out of the West after all these games have been played. You get to see what's going on. Oklahoma kept it close for about 15 minutes, and then right before halftime, Gonzaga said, "No, sir."
But still, when they kept it close, it's just Gonzaga is just so beautiful how selfless they are. Like it's crazy. Like, dude, just shoot the damn ball.
Oklahoma
you always get was the one fake and then one dribble, and you're like, easy elbow, jump shot, and they're like, kick out.
Yeah.
No.
Oklahoma was up 8 with 4 minutes left in the half, and they were down 12 at halftime. Like Gonzaga just decided, we're playing basketball again. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
Norfolk
State hit their shots. They'll hit their shots
for like 3 minutes. Yeah, it's so great. I still have Gonzaga coming out as well, but the Pac-12 showed us something, man. Hopefully they got something that can go. I think Creighton's going to get blown out. Honestly, I think they had their best win to get to the Sweet 16, and Gonzaga's just a better team. They'll play defense that Ohio didn't play, and they're going to get shut down. But whoever wins out of USC and Oregon, I think they'll give Gonzaga a real scare. But yeah, I have Gonzaga coming out as well. So that's the West. That's what we said. We said it was Gonzaga's tournament to lose, and it still looks that way. They're looking pretty good, pretty easily.
Yeah.
So,
and real quick, did you see John Morant say, if I was playing these teams?
Yeah.
Like, no, you wouldn't, bro. You might make it, but you're still going to lose to Gonzaga. You'd probably, I don't know. That team would
still be a 12 seed, just like they were whenever he was there.
Yeah. But I mean but he's looking at all these 7, 8 seeds and stuff like that. He's too busy doing his job nowadays. He's not looking at the fact that this is the weirdest college season we've ever seen in our lives. This Loyola team could beat Duke 10 out of 10 times right now. Would beat North Carolina. Yeah, would beat North Carolina probably 7 out of 10 times. They could play West Virginia 10 times right now and probably win 8 out of 10 times. They beat Florida right now without Keontae probably 7 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of these no-name teams, they have the same amount of talent on the teams because all of these guys either aren't playing or they're caught up in the transfer portal at the wrong time and didn't end up on a team.
But that Virginia team from 2 years ago would not have lost to any of these dudes.
No.
So, except maybe Gonzaga. But yeah,
even then,
that was a different year.
Then see Gonzaga get held to win the championship 65-57 would be what the hell just happened.
Exactly. All right, so let's shift down to the East. And my bracket, my personal one, the East is shot. I only have one team left, and I have them going to the championship. But the teams that are left are Michigan, Florida State, UCLA, and Alabama. My team that I still have left is Alabama, so I'm happy about that. But how have these games shaped out for you here in the East? I mean, Florida State, we hate to say it, but Florida State looked pretty good.
Yeah, the only thing that I got right in this is that Michigan and Bama would be where they are. I have them two going and Bama beating them, but that's literally it. Didn't have Abigail Christian doing anything. Didn't have Texas laying an egg.
That's really more of what it was. Texas didn't do shit. We talked up Shaka Smart. We said he was ready. That's my surprise as well. We said that Shaka Smart was ready. You had the Texas going really far, at least in your hopes and dreams. And they laid an egg. Do you think Shaka could be done? No? That was so sad, man. Right after they got just crushed by Oklahoma State in the Big 12 tournament, too. So,
yeah.
They won the regular season or whatever and then just got Nothing.
Yeah, it was definitely sad. And then the UNC Greensboro, they were fighting, and somehow Florida State was able to pull it out. But
They're too big, too athletic,
dude,
bro.
what they were able to do against Colorado was a total, what the hell? That I didn't call any of this in this. I don't even want to get to the West. No, the South. Don't want to get to the South at all.
The South is the one I had right, I think. Well, except for us, obviously, but
yeah, the SEC, shout out SEC. We're doing our thing, but yeah, this is crazy. The one thing I do want to shout out though is Michigan. They handled LSU. It looked close the whole time, but that team looks dominant, man. They look big.
Without their best player too, which is crazy.
Yeah, and being a Florida fan, we shouldn't have even been in that tournament. We maybe could have won the not in tournament with the team that we have, but we didn't deserve to win. We didn't deserve to even have a chance to beat. Should I say it? Blowjob Bobby.
We'll get there. Yeah, the blow bobs.
Yeah, but for Michigan to step up the way they are and play as a team, and the coaching staff they have, I mean, I've been calling it for this season. All time for Mike White to go. But yeah, shout out to Michigan, dude. They are really rolling, and I could now see them potentially beating Bama. The only reason I wouldn't want them to is so we can go to the dance next year.
So I learned that it's not going to the dance, but it's going to the Maui Invitational. So we get to go to the Maui Invitational.
Hey, that's even
exactly.
Better.
That's even better, right?
Better. Let's get it.
You'd probably have to find a way to get to LA though, because that's where I would have to fly out of is LA.
That's straight. Can we just watch the games on the volcano instead of going to the games?
But of course, so we talked about the Pac-12 in the West. What about UCLA, Pac-12? We actually did pick them to upset BYU. But then luckily, they got to face Abilene Christian, and Abilene Christian looked like the team that they were supposed to look like against Texas. They were really that Cinderella team that's just a one-hit wonder. They got lucky. They beat Texas, and then they had to face a real team. Even though it's an 11 seed, UCLA is a real team, and UCLA just worked them. So what do you think going up against Alabama? That's gonna. You mentioned that you still have Michigan and Alabama. So do you think they kind of can coast into the Elite Eight?
Yeah, I mean UCLA, they're nice and all that stuff, but I don't know. I mean, shout out to
the SEC.
Shout out to the Pac-12, bro. For real. Shout out to the Pac-12. They really did show up. I didn't expect any of this. They really fucked me if I had money on this. Thank goodness I didn't. But yeah, but I don't see UCLA really having a chance. Alabama is real. Their coach. I mean, if you watch him, I could not. Being the person I couldn't play for him. The game the other day, the dude shot a 3 over him, and he was there, but he could have definitely closed out sooner. Right. And as he was walking off, he kind of did this. He was like, effort. He didn't say F him. The coach wouldn't say that. So he said, I got effort, faster, close out sooner.
Yeah.
And the kid's just walking off, and then you see about 20 seconds later, he goes up to him. He's like, dude, run out, just run out and just teaching him, coaching him. And with that talent that team has, with that coach always in their face, always coaching them, always finding points to coach them up during the game, in March Madness, in the March tournament.
Madness, yeah.
UCLA
when they're winning, when they looked like they were going to win. I mean, it was a close game, but they looked like they were going to win. And so. And
the coach knew the only way this team was going to come back was stroking them threes like they continue to do.
Exactly.
And, oh, boy. Oh, man. I will get there. Syracuse. Just him and the other white boy. The other dude closed out 8 seconds before he even got the ball. And he just.
They shoot these rainbow floaters, too.
It's way up there.
Yeah.
It was just, whoo. All right. But, yeah, Bama's got this one. I still think they're going to beat Michigan, but shout out to Michigan too for coming together as a team and well coached, well prepared, and that's why I think that they have a chance. It's going to be a close game, but probably going to be like 85.
That might be one of the games of the tournament for real.
That's hard to say. There's been a lot. There has been
Yeah.
a lot of overtimes, a lot of close
But as the
endings.
better and better teams, that would be a 1 and a 2 going at it, and I think it could still be coming down to the wire. But I also have Alabama. I have to because, like I said, I only have one team left remaining, and it is Alabama, and they are my national title winner. So I had Alabama going up against Colorado in the next round. Obviously, Colorado laid an egg. So Alabama, I hope it's Michigan because fuck Florida State. I don't want them to make it any further. But I think Alabama can continue to roll and make it into the Final Four as well.
Yeah, and then next year, UCLA actually gets Sharif on the court.
True.
So that'll help them out. I mean, with them jeans, I mean, that boy's skinny as shit. But so was Shaq a little bit back in the day. But he was
true. LSU Shaq was
80
smart.
pounds heavier than his son at that point in time. But yeah, so that'll help them out. That team's got a lot to build off of for sure. And a reminder, just like college football, but college basketball this year, all of these boys get to come back for another one if they want to.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying at the end of this year, Tom Izzo obviously needs to be gone. Beheim needs to it's about that time. This is probably the best team he's going to be.
They're going to have a national championship in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and I was like, this is probably the best team. No, this should be his last season. This is probably the best team he's going to be able to have. It's his son's last year. And then I was like, wait, it could be his son's last year. So who knows?
That's why I'm scared about this Loyola Chicago team. Krutwick could be like a 7th-year senior next year and just keep coming back if he knows he's not going to make it to the NBA. Might as well come play college again.
Yeah.
All right, so let's shift now to the South. And the South was almost a really, really good bracket, but it fell just short by having frickin' Cinderella in the bracket. So it's Baylor, Villanova, Arkansas, and Oral Roberts. The story of the tournament, they beat Ohio State in overtime when they really should have beat Ohio State in regulation. But as you said, Washington could not hit an open three, and he missed, I think it was like 9 out of 11 he missed there in the fourth quarter in overtime. And that final shot he had off the rebound was so clean, wide open. That's the shot that has to fall. It would have went to double overtime, and who knows, they might have lost there, but that shot has to fall. And they end up losing. We were excited as Gator fans because it was like, all right, cool. Like, we don't have to deal with Ohio State anymore. We get that Cinderella team. And it looked like that was the case. We were going to be winning really pretty easily. Oral Roberts wasn't doing much. And then their O'Bannon guy, their white boy, just starts hitting shots. We're missing free throws. We don't deserve to make it out alive. And then we almost escaped, but you miss free throws, you lose the game. It's that simple. And we missed free throws in the first round too, and probably should have lost the game. So,
and then at the end of the game with about 15 minutes left, for some reason we started playing Omar Payne and letting Castleton rest, which was the worst thing to do.
They could not stop Castleton.
That dude, he was locking up that kid. Anytime that kid had an open three, Omar was out there. Not the Abrams dude, but the first guy that you said, the O'Bannon or whatever his name is. Like, but he was open the whole time. Him and his sleeve was wide ass open. Yeah. And it was annoying. And it was literally, I think 2 of his 4 threes was in the last 10 minutes when Castleton got his last little bit of rest, and Omar was out there. Just slide the dude with the bunnies, with the dreads. I think it's number 4. Lonnie Walker Jr. looking ass, right. The kid with the bunnies, slide him down and let him go to work and let him close out, because Omar just doesn't, he's not, every year I think he's going to be able to do something, but he is molasses, my guy.
Yeah,
and
he is.
I don't want to put it on him because we only played 7 people. He was one of the 7 people, so it's not just him, but it was horrible. The 11 minutes he did play was about 11 too many. And it's his fault. I have to say it's his fault.
Well, I mean,
and Mike White held off at the end. Whenever they came back, they went on an 8-0 run to go up 3. He should have called a timeout after the first 3 to go even. Right. They got an easy layup. The easy layup on the bullshit weak ass and 1 call. Missed the free throw. We go down, miss it. Bam, come right back. Free 3-pointer in the eye. Bam, tied game. No timeout called, go down, turnover, come back, bam, another 3-point in the eye, down 3, finally call it. No, I don't even think we called a
I don't
timeout
think
then.
no, we saved one. We
Yeah,
just
we
had
saved
it in our pocket.
Yeah, we saved it and went down. Then we ended up down 7 when he called the timeout with like 4 minutes left or something like that. And I don't know what Mike's doing, but
Also, I mean,
he can go join his brother.
You want to put it on Payne, which sucks, but Payne's not supposed to be our best player. Trey Mann is supposed to, at least this last month or so, been our best player. He is not able to play in the first half. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does at halftime. Maybe he has to go take a shit at halftime or something. I don't know, but he is not a first half guy, and that's huge. We should have put that team away in the first half and
You
just
should have fed Appleby. Did you see him the first shot of the game? Airball,
Yeah.
and he was like, all right.
He was ready to
All
go.
right.
And
Next
we
down.
were up.
Next possession down. 3-2.
We were
Let's
up
get it
double
going.
digits. We should have just started slaughtering them. And Mann started turning the ball over. I don't even think he took a shot for like a nice little 6-minute stretch. And it's like, what are you doing, dude? So I'm putting a lot on him as well. So yeah, he's a freshman. All right, cool.
Yeah, if
Still
I was
on
the
you,
AD,
bro.
I'm calling down and I'm saying if it's anybody but Appleby or Castleton, you're fired.
Right.
And just let them two rock it.
I was upset with Mike White more in the Virginia Tech game than I was in the Oral Roberts game, because we had a chance to put Virginia Tech away as well, and his out of bounds plays are just shit. They're not even there. I don't even know what he's trying to do personally. He's not trying to get his guy the ball. He doesn't have people running to the ball. He doesn't set screens. He doesn't do anything on his out of bounds plays, and we had to call so many timeouts against Virginia Tech for nothing. And I even texted Eddie, and I told him, I said, "Yo, like, I don't know what Mike White's doing, but he needs to get somebody that can draw up a play."
Yeah, and that's what cost us overtime against Oral Roberts. There was 2 possessions. Both of them were lobbed up. We caught one almost at half court, and just 15 seconds left. Everybody just passing around with their back to the basket, which is a huge no-no with under fucking 20 seconds left on the shot clock in college basketball. But that's all he knows to do, is have people run around, just flash decoy, and have the big man just kind of slowly walk out to half court and catch the
lob
lob.
it to him.
Yeah, no. When you have a team like Oral Roberts, it was all heart, all grit. They're going for that high point of the ball, and that Abornioro, whatever his name is, got the steal and put them up by 1 at that point in time with like a minute left and overtime, and we never came back, and they ended up winning by 3.
But yeah, missed free throws were the name of our game too, and it's so sad because that's just shitty. You should not miss free throws. You should never miss free throws. When I was a kid, a little white kid, I couldn't really play basketball as well as I thought I could, but I could hit a freaking free throw. If I had to hit a free throw, I could drain it. I used to make money off of people telling them I could make 10 free throws in a row because kids were stupid and would bet on that stuff. And I'd always make 10 free throws in a row because I didn't have to dribble. I didn't have to do anything crazy. You literally just stand there and shoot. It's so easy.
It was too close to the basket for me.
No, when it got too close to the basket for me, I threw that shit over the whole backboard. That shit hurt, though. I really did pull something. But I still should have made that. I threw that shit all the way over the backboard. It wasn't even close.
I wish there was tape, dude.
Right? I wish there was too, but
I'm so happy I wasn't in the game at that point in time.
That shit hurt, dude. All right. So anyways, let's talk about real basketball, not white kids trying to play basketball. And let's move on to Baylor. Baylor, we said in our little preview thing that it was Gonzaga and Baylor, and they're going to meet in the finals, and that's just all there is to it. Baylor is doing their part. They look good. I mean, they beat a 16 seed pretty easily, and then Wisconsin they beat pretty handily as well. After Wisconsin beat North Carolina by 23 points and made North Carolina look like shit, which I know North Carolina wasn't great this year, but Wisconsin made them look really bad, and then Baylor came out, and it was a close game. I think it was like 10 points or something, but Baylor never looked concerned, never looked like they were going to lose this game. So they still look like they're on their way. So what do you think in this Final Four? Do you think anybody's – actually, I guess we should do this bracket the same way we do the other ones. What was the game that came out and watched? We talked about Florida for the whole time, but what your first 2 rounds, what game really stood out to you?
The Oral Roberts, the way they're able to grit and grind in both their games, they had to grit and grind and pull it out there at the end, and were able to get it done. They make their free throws. They press on defense. They don't really have blown assignments when they're in cover in the zone defense. They don't really leave open people, and that's the way they're able to play the game. And I've never, in all the years that they haven't been in the tournament forever. Apparently, they were in the Final Four back in the '80s or some shit like that.
Yeah,
but I've never heard of this team, and you usually do. And the teams that you hear about, they are able to get, even if they are in Chicago, like Iona is. They're able to get. They might not get whatever big universities are around there, but they're definitely able
in
to
that hotbed.
Yeah, they're getting the 4 stars that maybe have a 2.2 GPA, and they're able to work with them and get them above that 2.5 somehow magically, get them into their program. So they have the kind of the top of the crust,
right?
And so, but with Oral Roberts, it's awesome how their coaching and just their effort is getting them to where they are, and it shows on every play, every possession. And oh yeah, they have 2 guys, one that's tall as shit, one that's really short and jumps 3 feet in the air, but they could both splash from anywhere on the court. And I like how that point guard of theirs really likes to take it in instead of taking it in with a pump fake and passing. He takes it in and just shoots that bitch.
Right.
I really like that.
Yeah. So my pick is also coaching, and it's system. It's next man up mentality. It doesn't fade away. And they were picked to be upset. They were the number 1 upset that was picked in this bracket from the People's Bracket this year. They were the top upset to be picked. And Jay Wright just continues to give Villanova play in, boy. They haven't looked tested, bro. They
haven't played anybody.
They were the upset pick of the whole thing. They're not supposed to be any good. And they came out and they said Winthrop. They were like, who the hell is Winthrop?
We all know who Winthrop is.
And they put Winthrop down. And then they said, oh, North Texas, you got to beat Purdue? Good shit.
Well, 2 years ago, Winthrop was the reason my bracket was perfect through 2 days because I guessed that shit.
True.
But yeah, I mean,
Jay Wright has
I was going to ask you, do you think Baylor's going to smack them in the face in the first 10 minutes of the first half, or do you think they're going to be able to maintain and stay with them?
They're the better coach team. I mean, Scott Drew, I'm not going to talk shit about Scott Drew. He's a good coach too. But Jay Wright is a proven commodity. Villanova plays defense. Baylor's going to win the game. I'm not trying to say that, but it's been a surprise for the first 2 weeks that I didn't expect. I couldn't name a single person on Villanova anymore. 3 years ago, whenever they beat North Carolina for the championship, they had that squad, full squad, Jalen Brunson, all those kids. And now I don't know who they got, but they're still playing. They're still a 5 seed, so they must have done something this year. And they're still doing their thing. Jay Wright, one of the better coaches in the league, and it's Tony Bennett had the same chance. And what did he do? He went out in the first round again. So I just wanted to give Jay Wright that shout out.
Whenever I saw the North Texas Villanova matchup, I thought that was going to be a really good matchup just because Villanova isn't the team that they used to be. And North Texas is a really, really, really good top tier what do we call these in the football?
Mid
markets?
Mid-major.
Mid-majors. I don't know.
That's what they're called.
Is that it? Mid-majors? Yeah. Oh, I'd call it mid-markets. That sounds better.
Sure, whatever. They're called mid-majors, though.
But yeah, I mean, in North Texas, they got a squad, and they just blew the shit out of North Texas.
Yeah, I think they'll give Baylor some struggle, but then Baylor will remember that they're the number 2 team in the country, and they'll come out and they do the thing. But this is where it gets down to the nitty gritty, man. The team can play, then it's gonna be a thing.
And this is crazy because I don't think Arkansas has a shot in hell against Baylor, but Oral Roberts could find a way to scrap and come through and get Cinderella look on their side and do it.
Well, we better hope that Arkansas has a chance because I have Arkansas in my Final Four in this bracket. So let's hope that either Villanova upsets Baylor or Arkansas finds a way to upset Baylor because I got Arkansas coming out of this thing. I have 2 SEC schools in a down year of the SEC in my Final Four, but it's a down year for everybody. So what
happened to Alabama's old coach, Avery
Johnson?
Yeah, what's he doing nowadays?
He was announcing one of the play-in games.
Oh, really?
I don't know if he's been announcing any other games.
Real quick, last thing about the Gators. Whenever I turned it on at the bar and I put the sound on and I heard Doris, I was like, Heavenly Father is with us today. He cares about sports. This is our game. I get to listen to Doris during a dub. All right, to the South, to the Midwest we go.
To the Midwest. So the Midwest is the only one with a number 1 seed to fall. We talked about Loyola Chicago. I correctly picked Illinois to be the first number 1 seed to fall, so I'll take that one. Mark for Travis.
Yeah.
But it was funny because everybody was saying that they were the next best team and that they were the only team that could give Gonzaga trouble, which might still be true. Nobody might be able to give Gonzaga trouble, but they have Io Akinola and Kofi Coburn. They were supposed to roll. Io didn't do anything.
I'm glad you said their names.
Io didn't do anything in either of the games, and he's supposed to be. He might be a Cavaliers pick. Who knows? And and he didn't do shit either. But Loyola Chicago, we know what they're about. It can't really even surprise you anymore when Loyola Chicago does this kind of stuff. But what can surprise you is that there are 2 double-digit seeds out here in the Sweet 16, and that's Oregon State and Syracuse. We talked up Syracuse in our preview pod. Did you expect them to win both of these games pretty much easily? You can talk about your boy Buddy now.
Yeah, no. So West Virginia, I said that they would end up being the first. If they would end up winning, they would have been the first number 1 seed knocked out. But that would have been in probably the Elite Eight area, Sweet 16 maybe.
Right.
Maybe around this area. I didn't think they were going to end up getting knocked off the way they did by Syracuse because just the way Coach Higgins starts with
Bob
a B.
Huggins.
Oh, wow. Who's Higgins? That's old Georgetown dude, right?
Yeah, the bald guy.
Bob Huggins. Damn, he was just on the McAfee show last week. But yeah, Coach Huggins, the way he gets his teams all in, they will always put 110% in. It doesn't matter if it's the fucking 12th person only getting 3 minutes in the game that doesn't matter. They're up 30. He's going to be the Meltonator, and you don't shoot a 3 on the Meltonator. Doesn't happen. Won't happen. Never going to happen. And Q's came out and shot a lot of them.
Well, Buddy only had 2 points in the first half. He wasn't shooting a lot of them.
That
the other guy, the Dajika or what's his
like it's Kurzika or something.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah, he's just it's so awkward. He just grabs it right from here and throws it up. It's just like my old shot used to be from him when I used to do that, but he just goes straight up with it and lobs that bitch.
Yeah.
Just raindrop splash.
But then Buddy started going, boy, setting records, setting Syracuse records.
Yeah, and they really could beat that Houston team the way they are able to just grab the ball, pop it, and shoot threes. Because they don't need to move the ball. They don't have to press it. They can just walk the ball up, flash it to the one dude getting picked off real quick, and it's gone.
Yeah.
The Houston's not going to have the chance for the trap. And if they do try to trap, you have 2 or 3 guys on the court that if you leave open at any point in time can drain the ball, and one of them's the 4, that's 6'9". Yeah, don't do that too often, Houston. So
but Houston.
You're good.
Houston finally answered the question. I know you went to go talk in. The question in everyone's mind, and the reason why everybody had Houston being upset is they said if they get double digits down, their offense is not good enough to bring them back. Well, they got double digits down. They should have lost this game. I almost turned it off, and I said, you know what? Because I'm an AAC fan, I'm going to watch my boys. They had a dude injured playing with a fucking messed up hip. And then they had their second best player just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. He looked like Cade Cunningham out there. And shut it. And then their defense, this is what they've ridden all game long. Their defense shut this team down. All they could make was free throws there at the end of the game. But Houston started hitting shots. Their boy with the broken ass hip was fucking shooting threes wide open and not being able to walk down the floor afterwards, but he was hitting the shots. And Houston showed that, hey, just because we're down double digits late does not mean we can't come back. And that's really surprising for me, honestly. I didn't expect them to be able to come back either, but they showed a lot to me. And I picked them to be in the final, but it was kind of like that's UCF's rival. Let's pick them to be nice. But now they're really looking good, and the path is opening up for them with all these double digits.
Yeah, and they're a team that could really use some rest right now, and that's not on their side. When do they play? I don't know.
Saturday, I think. Yeah.
So yeah, they're getting some rest actually. What, 3 days, 4 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 days of rest. They definitely need it. But I don't know, man. That Syracuse team, they got offense for days, and they're able to stop you. They also have a press. They have a trap. The only thing with them is their zone. They're
gonna let you shoot, and if Houston can shoot too.
And if Houston can get on that stretch that they were able to get to against Rutgers, and shout out to me for calling Rutgers beating
Yep.
a 7 seed, even though I kept doing the 10-7s, and that was like the only one that hit, I think. But
No,
shout out to
Maryland
me.
hit if you picked Maryland.
I think I did actually. But yeah, shout out to me for being Clemson, even though we're about to get Trey Law. That's my guy. But yeah, I don't know. I love this year, dude. I love this
Yeah.
year so much. Usually we're able to call it, and when we get to these games, we're able to bring up point differentials and turnover differentials and all this shit. All of that's out of the window right now. We really are just now learning what these teams are and who they are. And as a tournament team, because we have 15 seeds, 16 seeds, 12 seeds, it's 8 seeds. It's insane. And a lot of mid majors.
Yeah. So who comes out of this one? Does Loyola Chicago make another Final Four run? Does Houston go back to, what is it, like the 60s that they were really good? Or
I want to see Loyola Chicago and Syracuse, but if that's them two, I could see Syracuse doing it, dude.
got an
I'm
alarm
wrong.
going off in the background.
I'm wrong, Bob.
So
Upsetting.
I have Houston picked in my bracket, so hopefully they win. But just personally, I want to see Loyola Chicago do it again. Although I'm tired of hearing about Sister Jean. She is not out there playing basketball. Let's talk about these kids that are actually playing basketball.
Hey,
what?
She gives good scouting reports, okay?
She does give good scouting reports, but I'm sure the coach does as well. And that's what they're actually listening to. And I love having a mascot or whatever you want to call her. I don't know if you can call human beings mascots, but I love having those teams with those things. But the person that they play for and all that shit. But they're out there playing basketball. This Krutwig guy he's like a 40-year-old senior right now. He looks like it at least. And there's another white kid that he also shoots those big rainbow threes. And they look good and they play defense, right? Like Illinois couldn't do shit. They locked those 2 lottery picks down. They play really good defense. And I hope they make it through to the Final Four. But for Maui purposes, I picked Houston. So let's go Houston.
Yeah, let's go Houston for Maui purposes. But I just don't see Houston being able to stop them killers from 3.
Yeah, well, I have.
And then it's just going to be a score fest. If it is Cuse and Loyola, that's going to be a fun-ass game to watch.
That will be fun. It's so weird because now Syracuse, they're so inflated. They don't ever win their conference because people see that zone 2-3 times a year. But they get in these damn one-off games and they just shut people down. It's so crazy until you get to those good teams. Like if they have to place Baylor in the Final Four or Arkansas or somebody that's seen a zone before. These mid-major teams haven't seen a zone before. They play man all day long, and that's all they do. So it's really exciting.
They're really good at it. It's crazy.
All right, so I have a chance to get 6. My bracket's not gonna take us to Maui. By the way, Seal, I'm really not that good. We're trying to hype up, saying that I do have all Final Four.
Nobody's is that good though.
I do have all Final Four picks left.
That's all you need now. That's all you need this year, baby.
I am in the 87th percentile right now, so we need to jump that shit up a lot.
Wow.
It's not great, but I think I'm doing better than Keyshawn Johnson is in his picks. So,
nice.
So that's something. Actually, he's in the 87th percentile as well. So me and Keyshawn Johnson are tied right now, and he has Arkansas winning the whole thing. So I think I'll be all right.
Oh, yeah. How are we doing our $50,000 bracket? Do you know?
Oh, that's the NCAA one. Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson sucks. All right.
Let's go worry about the money.
I think I was doing okay.
Nice.
Where the hell is it? I looked before the last round and I was doing okay.
Hell yeah. So yeah, there ended up being like 50-something thousand people.
And what do you have to do? You got to win that shit?
Yeah, I think.
And then what do? I get to go hang out with Pat McAfee? What do I do?
No, you get money, and then you give me my 10%.
Do we get to go hang out with Pat McAfee? All right, I don't know how to see my freaking picks, so I don't know. It doesn't seem to be working. But yeah, it's been a really exciting tournament, dude. I'm loving it. I mean, obviously, I love it more.
My internet didn't go out.
Oh, maybe it's mine. It says my internet is unstable.
Hey, ha! About time.
It was because I was trying to find this fucking bracket.
Oh well, do it later.
But anyways, It's been a really exciting tournament for sure. So if Florida can't win it, I like seeing all this chaos, all this craziness.
For sure. I mean, that was just stupid how we went out. But it does make me feel good when that happened. I started getting notifications that the Wizards were celebrating the end of their 20-game losing streak that I didn't even know was
really?
going on.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, they ended their 20-game losing streak, and John Wall and the coach, and no, not John Wall, Russ,
Bradley Beal,
and the coach,
Russ, okay.
and the coach embraced or something like that. And yeah, they were very happy about that. But yeah, they lost 20 games in a row, and John Wall's over there in Houston laughing his ass off after the beef him and Russ had a couple weeks ago.
I really don't know how to work in